Welcome to the 7-Step Pathway to Profit Formula series. My name is Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO, and throughout this series, we'll explore the 80-20 rule and how it can result in more time freedom and consistent profits. Each episode will break down key strategies to boost efficiency, increase profits, and help you get your time back. Let's dive in and start your journey to more time freedom and consistent profits.
Yes, this is Chuki, and I believe that gratitude is undefeated and growth is about the next step. It is an honor for me to moderate today's discussion with my good friend, Michael. Michael, how are you?
Great, Chuki. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well.
So as Chuki said, my name is Michael Barbarita. I'm president of Next Step CFO, and Next Step CFO is a fractional CFO and strategic implementation firm. And our vision is to ensure overwhelmed business owners achieve the time freedom and consistent profits to build a legacy and the life they desire. And our mission is dedicated to guiding small business owners to leveraging their time, exploding their profits, and build a meaningful legacy. You know, this show, Powerful Business Strategies, in our book of the same name, is a step towards accomplishing that vision and mission. And so with that, I want to hand it back to my co-author and moderator for the show, Chuki Obio.
Michael, thank you. So I am energized by today's episode. 7-step pathway to profit formula using the 80-20 rule to get your time back. This goes right to the heart of the mission and vision statement, Michael, that you called out, this
That's
idea
right.
of legacy and leadership for business owners. So before we really jump in, a quick disclaimer. So Michael and I are both affiliated with a number of different organizations. I currently serve as the managing director of business development for Vetter Price, a global business-focused law firm. But in addition to that, it is truly inspiring to collaborate with Michael on a business roundtable that we do coast to coast for business owners. And we document best practices from business owners across industries. And then we document that in our book called Powerful Business Strategies, also the name of the show. But please note that the views expressed on this show are our personal views. But my mission as the fearless moderator is to ask the right questions to help you and to help me learn the best business strategies that the competition isn't doing. So, Michael, look, really energized for today's episode.
Likewise, Chuki. And so our show today is about working your way toward getting your time back by
Yes.
utilizing what we call the 7-step pathway to profit formula, using the 80-20 rule to finally get your time back.
Nice.
And you know, in the mid 80s, I bought a ski specialty retail business. And when I bought the business, I never skied before. And when I bought the business, I was 27 years old and didn't have any experience running a business. And I needed something or to do something to be able to accelerate my learning curve and really understand what was going on in the business, to be able to talk intelligently to my employees who, quite frankly, knew way more about the business than I did. I was way behind the 8 ball, having a lot of sleepless nights, wondering what I got myself into, and I was making a lot of mistakes. It's unbelievable. Feeling like totally out of control, losing the respect of the employees. I mean, I was struggling with not knowing anything about the business and certainly not knowing anything about the ski business. And the employees needed direction and leadership, and I wasn't giving it to them. And I was getting more and more frustrated with my lack of knowledge about the business, and it was affecting employees who were leaving and who were equally frustrated, and it was affecting the business that was now struggling. And you see, at the time, I was trying to make sure that the business would survive, but I was overwhelmed, exhausted, overworked, frustrated, and then something really bad happened. While all this distress and my mismanagement was going on, to top it all off, I caught an employee stealing right out of the cash register. And yeah, I'll tell you, that's when it really hit bottom. I really couldn't manage the business correctly. I really had to do something to right the ship. And as you can imagine, I was really in bad shape and desperate, but I wasn't going to give up on my dream of finally being in control of my business and my destiny. And this is when I started to look at things that I should focus on in order to leverage more revenue. And that's when I learned about the 80-20 rule and how to use it to leverage more revenue. And so business owners overall, from the ones we've interviewed, Chuki, are just so overwhelmed because there's just so many things they have to know and understand about running a business. It's endless. And just as an example, in our book called Powerful Business Strategies, we have this little pie chart that has layers of things that we business owners should be at least familiar with, if not actually understand and know. And this pie chart has subcategories of subcategories. And if we took out just one sliver of the pie chart, it's a real tiny sliver called digital marketing. Then business owners have to know about social media, email marketing, blogging, copywriting, e-commerce, paid ads, search engine optimization, data analytics, conversion and optimization, videos, squeeze pages. I could go on and on for days and days. It's just so overwhelming. And this is the overwhelm that I was looking at when I was in the ski business. And so the question becomes, with all these things we business owners have to know, what should we focus on to get the biggest for the buck and to get the most leverage? So I turned to the 80-20 rule, commonly referred to as the Pareto principle, that says that 80% of the consequences comes from 20% of the causes. And to put that in business vernacular, most business owners think that the 80-20 rule as it relates to business is that 80% of the revenue comes from 20% of the customers, which by the way is true. But the way I looked at the 80-20 rule and the way I broke it down is that 80% of the revenue comes from 20% of the effort. So the trick is to identify what tasks make up that 20% that drive 80% of the revenue. And Chucky and I, when we wrote our book, broke this down to what we call the 7-step pathway to profit formula. I didn't have that terminology back in the 80s. So Chucky and I put a name on it when we wrote the book. And once again, we talked about that 20% being the 7-step pathway to profit formula. And so what we did is identify the tasks that make up that 20% that drives 80% of the business that you do, drives 80% of the revenue. And I'm going to explain each step one at a time.
That's it for today's video. If you found it helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. We've got more insights on how to apply this business strategy and transform your business. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.